All right, in this video, we're going to go over another amazing tool on the Mission Insight platform, and that is the Custom Reports tool. Now, with that tool, to begin to use it, you've got to first create a shape or pull up one of your saved shapes. And so I'm going to go back to my shapes box, close this, go back to my saved shapes, and I'm going to select for this video, I'm going to select my Daniel Island shape that I've used. Now then, to use the custom reports feature, you'll jump down to the demographic button, and then the very top box, if it's collapsed, then open it up, but the very top box has two different options for you to do, and both of them are different and provide different opportunities for you to utilize this part. So there's the demographic side of it that allows you to select certain key pieces of information that you're interested in finding, perhaps the population count for certain things, or the percentage of the population, or whatever it might look like for what piece of data you're trying to pull. And then the American Belief Study allows you to pull customized American belief studies of certain, again, strands of their research. So let me just quickly walk you through both of these. So for the build demographics report, again, this is similar. You've seen this earlier in the thematic mapping tool, but this allows us to go through and select certain strands of data. So for the video, I'm going to go ahead and click on the people option. And what's neat is it allows you to pull multiple pieces. So where the thematic mapping tool only lets you pick one, this lets us pick several. And so for the video, I'm actually going to select outreach opportunities for children, preschool, youth, and young adult, just to see what is available. So you'll see after I select those, it's going to pop up here on this side. It's going to take a second for it to generate. Okay, as I scroll down, it's going to let me generate the report. Give it a second to load. And then once it pops down, let me go ahead and pull this window down so you can see it better. But here, once it opens up the generator report, it allows you to, again, scroll down and view all the information it just pulled for me. So it shows me all of the, children, of that age group, in that shape that I drew. It shows me the percentage of kids in that particular piece. Again, same thing for preschool, same thing for youth, young adult, right? So interesting to see that, in this kind of category, that the 15 to 19 age range is significantly larger, right? So there's 15, almost 1,600, students, right, of this age range, especially as you compare it to younger children, right? So children 3, 4, and 5. I mean, there are significantly more teenagers and even young adults in the 20 to 24 age range, or even, early adolescent age range than younger kids. Really interesting, and how all this can play, essential information, in ministries of church and areas of priority, and how many kids can be expected in a weekly, worship service as compared to teenagers or young adults. Really, really interesting. Even on your report, not only can you see it in this way, but you can click on this button right here that lets you generate a chart, which is really neat. And so again, the same pieces of data we just saw listed out for us in number form have now been put into chart form, which is really cool. And so again, you can always screenshot these, you can download this report, and so you can always use this for other pieces. So if you're needing to build a report for a church plant project or whatever it may be, you can use this, these images and these graphs, if you need to. All right, very, very cool. Now I want to show you and again, if you close it out and you want to pull back up the report, you can click on this button right here. Now I want to show you the American Belief Study, right? So select on this part, and again, on the American Belief Study reports, that has all these options for us, and you can select all if you want to, or you could select just a couple, right? For example, we can select this one that shows us active in a religious, congregation, and then also maybe change that has happened, right? And so again, generate our report. Takes a second to load. Here we go. Oh, let me again pull this down for you. And again, shows us again some of the numbers. So 10 years prior, how many people were a part of a church, community, and now today, right? So you see a significant decline just in 10 years of almost 10% of that community. You see right here also too people who are originally no and still are not. Again, it's really interesting to see just the change in the community. People who again were but are no longer. Right? You see that 12% change, and even how that factors in up here. Right? Really neat. On how some of this is kind of shown for us. You see right here, those who were not a part of a church but now are. Very small amount of increase, right? So what great opportunity there is for a church to exist that will reach people. I want to show you one more really cool thing that you can pull up with this study. So let me unselect these two. I want to show you right here beliefs about God and beliefs about Jesus. These are two really neat. I mean, they're all really cool, but these are two really neat, pieces of research that you can look up for your community or for the shape that you've drawn that you're wanting to learn more about. Pull this down again for you. So what this right here shows us is, again, kind of poll research of questions being run through people in this area and just their response. So, the question of everyone and everything is God, a large amount of people disagree with that, but you also see that a pretty significant amount of people have no opinion about it. Right? And so you can go through each of these questions and kind of see how people responded, right? A high disagreeing, a couple of these, right? I don't believe, God exists. The material universe is all that is, right? Pretty significant amount of people disagree with that. Even, somewhat disagree, and showing here on the other end of just a spectrum of answers and kind of getting an idea of, people's spiritual curiosity, even worldview, even if they're not Christians yet. You see how that plays into this community. Also neat right here too. You'll see here at the bottom, again, kind of the spiritualness, right, of this community. Forces of nature and the spirits within the creation are God for me. Fairly a quarter of the population would disagree with that, but you see a significant amount, has no opinion, and even almost equal to agreeing amount of people, or a percentage of the population would agree with that statement, which is also really helpful when understanding, how to reach people with the gospel of Jesus, in this community. Also really impactful here as you look at this part about beliefs about Jesus, right? Belief in Jesus does not require participation in a church. Some would disagree, no opinion. People do agree. It's interesting that people have this high varying sense of agreeing with that. But even as you come here to the bottom, you'll see that people in the church do not behave as Jesus would have. And so you see how people, respond, to this, that people, aren't looking like Jesus. People would agree with that. The people in the church do not live, love, care for others, behave like the very one they claim to be following. And so you see a really significant amount of people say they agree with that statement. So really fascinating stuff when it comes to generating or creating the values, the vision of a church, or stoking the fire of a ministry or an initiative to go out and reach those in this particular area. And again, as before, you can generate a chart of this information, a really cool looking chart that you can always screenshot or use in a, I wonder if you can, no, you can't save it, but you can save this whole document and then go from there. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Hope this is helpful.